Amanda's Specialized Shiv triathlon bike. This bike's 4.5 years old now, and as you can see, exceptionally grubby, and it needs an overhaul. So Amanda's done 6 half distance or half Ironman events and 1 full Ironman on this bike, not to mention all the training required for them, as well as numerous shorter races. So it's certainly done the miles. And you can see there with the chain, it's not even fully stretched yet. It's only about 75%. The good news about that is I don't have to replace the cassette, only the chain. I'm going to pull the cranks off this bike, check the bottom bracket wear, and also makes it easier to give it a really good clean. You can see how grubby it is in some of these shots, all the dirt and everything on it. But it does do high miles, this bike. So just getting the cranks off this bike. And I checked that bottom bracket and it's perfect. So a bit of degreaser. Clean this cassette up. The jockey wheels, the derailleurs. Just needs a good spring clean. This is a hard bristled brush here, which gets right into the cassette really well. Normally I have a chain cleaner also to clean the chain, but because we're replacing that just got ditched in the bin. And some hot soapy water and give it a good scrub down. You can see because I've taken the cranks off there, you can get in behind where the cranks would be. Squirt her all down, get all the soap off it. Love seeing that cassette spin with the hose. Comes up looking brand new. Gave the wheels a good scrub. The chain rings. Everything's nice and clean. And I'm not sure this has been done in the 4.5 years. My bad. It's had a couple of services, but not a complete clean like this. So off with the wheels. And just scrub everything down. Get into all the little nooks and crannies in the derailleurs. It's just a microfiber mini towel I've got there. Get all that gunk and grease off of the jockey wheels. That accumulates over time. And just wipe it down and make it look nice and new and sparkly. Wipe down the frame. Now these tyres are also 4+ years old and they're perishing, as you can see. So never had a puncture. Touch wood. She's not going to. So off with the old tyres. No point even keeping these. We'll ditch those. They've had a good run. And you can hear the bearings there. They're shot. And Amanda was complaining about a noise from the bike, and I reckon it's coming from those bearings. So I just wanted to drop the free hub body off and check it. Now the bearings in the free hub are fine, but they're shot here. My concern is if I bash them out, will I be able to get some more? Because Amanda has a race in 2 weeks, the Mooloolaba Half Ironman. So I've just dripped a little bit of oil in there, tried to lubricate them a little bit. And after the race, I'll pull them out and actually replace them. I'm not sure these wheels are made anymore, but hopefully they're a generic bearing I can find somewhere. So a bit of grease, lube the bearings a little bit with a bit of oil. Now these new tyres, there's 2 different. There's a Pursuer and a High Road there. They're both Maxxis. So the Pursuer is a mid-range race tyre with a little bit more protection. So I always run that on the back wheel of our bikes. It still rolls really nicely, but if you're going to get a puncture, 80-90% of the time it's the back wheel. So you put the sturdier tyre on the back. Let's grease up this free hub body before we put the cassette back on. I like to use a lot of grease. Just stops any creaks and noises that may occur. Look at that cassette, looks nice and new. That's 4 years old, that cassette. Back on with the wheel. bike's shining now. It's got a beautiful colour, this Specialized. And the front wheel, you can hear that. There's something in the rim. And I noticed it as I was wheeling it out to wash it. So same deal with the tyres. They're off, throw them out. And I've got to try to get this, whatever it is, out of the wheel. So I'm trying to get it out through the valve hole there, but I ended up peeling a little bit of the rim tape back, exposing the nipple holes, because they're slightly bigger. And finally,
the washer.
There it is. Look at that, a little washer. Who knows what that's from?
That was it.
So I thought, there we go, we've got it, but there's another one in there.
Two.
So there was two. So we got them out. Put the rim tape back on. And this is the high road. So this is Maxxis's fastest tyre. Beautiful tyre.
All good.
A little bit lighter, higher thread per square inch, so I put them on the front wheel of our bikes. So it's just something I do. These are both 25mm. I don't think Amanda's bike would take wider tyres actually. Line up the label there against the valve. A little bit of bike mechanic etiquette there. And I was struggling a bit to get these tyres on. I feel these rims or wheels are slightly oversized. I hate using tyre levers to put the tyres on, but sometimes you don't have a choice. And as I was pumping it up, I can hear a hole. So using the tyre levers, I've just clipped that tube.
What's up?
And punctured it. There's a hole in it. Punched it up, putting it on. So away with that one. Let's put a new one in there. This time I managed to put it on just with my hands and put her up to pressure. So back in with the front wheel. These nice gold skewers. Amanda loves her gold skewers. And just greasing the axle and everything on the cranks before I put it back in. Same deal, just grease up all the surfaces. We don't want any creaks. And reinstall the cranks. So just tighten up these two 5mm Allen keys. As I said, the bottom bracket bearings were fine, so on with a new chain. So this is a YBN 11-speed chain. I also use these on all our bikes. They're great chains. Really good wear out of them. So pretty when they're new. So this is the way that I get the length correct. Put it in the small chain ring and the small cog on the cassette. Line up how much chain I need to take out. With the chain breaker here, pop out the lengths I don't need. And with the connecting link, put it back together. So you can just push this around to the top, push down on the pedal there and click, and goes that joining link. Check all the gears, which worked perfectly. I didn't have to adjust them. I was going to replace the bar tape, but the bar tape's actually still in really good nick. So I just re-taped the ends of it to make it nice and neat. This tape eventually comes off as it gets hot and cold and wet and all the rest of it. So just clean that up.
The rest at the moment feel pretty good. Make brake, let's not touch it.
Back on with the hydration. And look at that bike. Looks brand new. There's a few scuffs, but you know, 4.5 years, that's what you get. And this bike's probably done 50,000 K on the back of the van. So it's been exposed to the elements, that's for sure. And that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching.